everyone's had a really, really epic day. Not sure if there's a limit on how often you can go live on Facebook. This is my second time today. So guys, what I want to share with you is the numbers that you need to know to run Facebook ads successfully and to be confident to spend bigger budgets. So, what's so common in the fitness industry is one, people aren't spending any budget, or two, they want to spend $5, $10, $15 a day. Now, when we were growing, right, to our gyms, all our clubs had over 300 members and things like that. To put it in perspective, we were spending on average about $800 to $1,000 a week on ads, which is a lot of money. But when you have a business that turns over like $750,000 to $1 million, it's really not, okay? So here's what you need to think, and I want to change your thinking here a little bit with the first one, which is what can you afford to pay per lead, right? Because what kind of happens, and I'm all for getting the cheapest lead cost, 100%, right? You want to get good quality leads at the lowest amount, right? But rather than thinking like a, low-level business owner, right? Think, what can I afford to pay per lead, because you have all your numbers dialed in like a high seven-figure CEO, right? So it changes your perspective. What can you afford to pay per lead, right? And I'm going to teach you how you can figure this out, right? Now, in all gyms, what they generally do is a trial period, maybe 21 days, maybe 28 days, maybe 6 weeks, a trial that's paid. That works really, really well on ads. Now, when we're tracking our data, and I'm not going to go in what you can afford to pay per lead, because you need to be tracking the next three numbers incredibly closely to figure out what you can afford to pay per lead. But what you're tracking is how much revenue, like how much ad spend did you spend over the last 7 days? So let's say, for example, in this, you spent $500 in ads over the last 7 days. And this is in your weekly KPI, so you're tracking it, right? Then the next number that you're tracking is how much revenue did the business generate within 7 days from those ads, right? So, let's say very roughly here, you spent $500 on ads at $25 a lead. So you got 20 leads, right? Now, off those 20 leads, this is why you must be doing paid offers. How much revenue did you acquire, right? Because say off those 20 leads, if you signed up 5 people who paid you $200 for a trial, then you spent $500 on your ads and you acquired $1,000 back, which is what we call positively self-liquidating, right? And here's where most people go wrong, right? And I want you to write it down. I want you to like fucking tattoo it on your hand if you have to, right? You must know the ongoing lifetime revenue of a customer. So what you do is when someone cancels, right, you write down how much revenue they've paid your business, right? And it becomes an average over the last 20 cancellations, because you can't accurately predict. You can't go, oh, Jimmy's going to join my gym and he will on average pay me $3,300 unless you know this number. So that when we're kind of breaking it down, going, are you making money off your ads? Firstly, it's like knowing how much you spend over a 7-day period. How much revenue did you liquidate within that 7 days, right? How much revenue of that 500 you spent did you get back? Right? It should be even. More often than not, it can be more. But most people aren't tracking this stuff. They're not even tracking it, so they have no idea this. Like Facebook ads don't work, right? And then if you go, hey, when I sign a client to my gym, on average, they will pay me $2,377, right? So let's go like, off these ads, and it's better to get the cash up front. But even if you spent $500 on ads, right, you got 20 leads, okay? From those 20 leads, only one became a trial. They paid you $200, but that person decided to become a member on your 24-week program, and your averages tell you that they will pay you like $2,300, then you've actually made a lot of income off those ads. And these are the numbers that people know who will outperform you, who will outspend you, who will grow bigger than you, because they understand these metrics very, very, very tightly, and they're tracking them. So they know if their ads are working, right? You'll see people going, hey, I made 10x my ad investment, like things like that. You see ads all the time about it, right? And it's these numbers working all together, because you actually get front end money in a gym, and then you get back end money as well, right? You get back end money from, of course, their training. They might like do overseas retreats with you. They might buy supplements with you. They might do nutrition programs with you. They might join up on a special challenge that you're running, right? And if you dial in these numbers, right, making the ad copies, the images, and everything will be a lot funner because you know that you're making money, right? I always say this, you should be in business to make money. So before you go looking for the best fucking image to use on Facebook, before you go looking for the new ad copy and, you know, copying someone's ads, which everyone does out there, is made famous by Russell Brunson, you copy their ad copies, know your numbers, know what you can afford to pay per lead, know what your ad spend is per week, right? You do this in a weekly KPI report and you'll be checking your ads every day or every second day, depending on your budget. Then know how much revenue did your business take in from those ads over the last 7 days. That's how we know if you're positively self-liquidating. And then you must know your ongoing customer lifetime value, because if you have like 10 trials and 5 of them sign up, your average lifetime value is like $2,300. You've made well over $10,000 off that campaign, and you probably just don't know it because you're not tracking it. So yes, running a high 6-figure or 7-figure business, guys, if you're not tracking numbers, right, you might get there and then you're going to fucking fall off an absolute cliff, right? And these are the things that I really want you to focus on. I want you to dominate using Facebook and Instagram ads because it's the best way to grow a fitness business at the moment, consistently and sustainably without relying on referrals and word of mouth, which is great, right? But we want to, and you must know these numbers. And these are the things we teach you guys in the inner circle. We've got all the KPI tracking that we use when we run ads with the agency. I teach you this. It's in the KPIs that we give you in there, right? So if you've ever run ads, right, and they weren't working, you probably didn't know these numbers, or you didn't know just the basic concept of setting up ads, which you can honestly, guys, learn this in like 2 hours. Don't let anyone make you think it's like a fucking 4-year project and you've got to be God's gift to this earth to run Facebook ads for fitness. You do not. People like to make stuff seem more complicated than it needs to be in life because then they get paid a lot of money to do so, right? And then I want you to dial in your numbers, your ad spend per week. Every Monday you do it at 9 a.m. How much revenue did you get, right? That's tracking your sales processes and also your lead quality. And then what's your lifetime value, which is tracking how well you're doing through those trial period. Are you signing the people up to a 24-week program? And is your gym retaining them? Each number has certain habits, certain traits, certain tactics to improve them, of course. But unless you're tracking those numbers, you don't even deserve to know the best tactics and tricks and tips, right? Because you're just going out there and you're looking for random different videos that might help. But unless we know the numbers, we don't know which trick, which trait, which habit will make you the best, will give you the best result in business. You're just going to run around watching all videos from me and fucking everyone else and just putting stuff in your business, not knowing, right, if it's the right trick or the right tool at the right time, which, right, is why you need to make sure you're tracking your numbers. So guys, I hope you guys got a bit of value from that. Those are the numbers we tracked when we had a multi-7-figure business. We spent a lot of money on ads. We had a team. Those are the numbers you must be tracking if you're running your own ads. Those are the numbers you must be tracking if you have fucking anyone running your ads, right? So let's dominate into 2021. If you want to learn all this stuff, right? If you like this, I just give you snippets on my free pages. If you want the real thing, right? If you want me to teach you how to run your ads at a super high level, guys, it's time you join the Inner Circle program. I will teach you to run ads as if I own your business myself, right? At an incredibly high level. I'll make sure you know when you're making money, when you're not making money, how to improve every single metric within your business. And firstly, like what metrics to track that make the biggest difference.